I'm not starting late, you're starting late. Shh.
Sacrifice the gumshoe to the old gods and receive a second K instead.
You know what? I'm not against it. That being said, I feel like the dynamic between K and Gumshoe is kind of fun and sweet, and it wouldn't be the same with just 2Ks. I feel like it wouldn't really necessarily work. But, you know what? It's fine. Neither of them have a salary. That's the important part. They're both broke as hell. Oh, right. We were here. Anyways, okay. Where the hell did we leave off? We were investigating this room. We have... Whoops. Buttons. What are buttons? Okay, that didn't help anything. That's fine. I just, like... maybe it could be, based on stuff. But regardless, anyways, we've investigated this, apparently. And that. And this. And that. Oh, here's something. It appears that the desk is largely unchanged from before the fire. Yeah, it just got a little burnt, that's all. But it's a very fine desk. I'm sure that even now it's still usable. If it's that great, why don't you trade your desk with it? No. It was just a suggestion. You have to get all monosyllabic on... Slavic? Slavic on me? One of those two. Words. Words are a thing. Anyways, unimportant. What about the safe? The safe wasn't open at the time of the fire. You could tell because the inside wasn't burnt, right? Yes, and thanks to the safe's fire resistance, the smuggling evidence was preserved. Aren't safes great? They always hold the wonderful promise of treasures within. Well, this one certainly did have a few inside. Detective, you took part in the initial Babal investigation, correct? Yep, sure did. I also helped put out both fires, sir. But that first fire took me by surprise. I had a tough time escaping the 5th floor. First I tried the elevator, but I guess someone else had the same idea because it was in use. If I hadn't remembered to use the stairs at that point, I'd have been burnt to a crisp. Y'all know if... Well, first of all, like, the reason why elevators are said, hey, do not use in case of fire, it's... My understanding is specifically so that disabled people who can't use the stairs, or those people who can't use the stairs quickly enough can use the elevator, and also for firefighters. Hold it! Wait, that's odd. We always warn our staff that in the case of a fire, it's dangerous to use the elevator. Oh? Maybe someone wrote it in a fit of panic? Detective, did you see the Yaltagarasu that came into the Babalese embassy at all? I didn't personally, and the other staff members told me they never got a good look at the person either, sir. I wonder if you could tell me a bit more about what you discovered, Detective. The second fire broke out around the time the Yatagarasu was spotted in Alabast. That's also when a suspicious person was spotted in Babal, which caused some panic. So no one was able to get a good look at this Yatagarasu that entered Babal? Yeah, all they saw was a mysterious person wearing a long coat. But that's not enough to make a positive ID, you know? Still, it was enough to make the people who received the calling card panic even more. A person in a long coat. It sounds like the exact same person I saw. The Otagarasu that appeared in Alabast was proven to be just a fabrication, a shadow. In light, jokes of that fact, the Otagarasu that appeared in Babal is also suspect. You can't be serious. No one were this close to capturing the fake. I mean, Callisto, you. So the Otagarasu appeared, caused mass confusion, killed Mr. Kochin, and disappeared. By the way, Detective, why did you not chase after the Otagarasu? I did, but, well, this embassy is huge, sir. got separated from the other staff members I was with and was lost for a while there.
You didn't even memorize the layout of the building you were to guard, Detective.
Yeah, I'll be sure to do that from now on, sir. But you know, it was thanks to me being lost that I was able to come to Katie's rescue.
Oh, is that a fact? You did your spring cleaning today? I'm proud of you. Congratulations. There are things that I should probably do eventually. Not that today felt like spring. Felt more like spring last week when we were in the 70s and 80s. Not today when it was back down to the 30s and 40s.
When I heard her scream, I headed towards it right away.
Oh, that's probably from when I found Mr. Cochin's body.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like her, so I got real worried and ran as fast as I could.
And it was thanks to Gummy that Miss Sheena wasn't able to take me away. He covered for me until you got here, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, I see. So he can be useful once in a blue moon. Hi, Kayla. Your internet's working again? Congratulations. Congratulations. I hope it remains working. It won't, but we can hope. There! My gum! Oh no! What was I saying? Brain not working. First, I keep distracting myself. I'm very good at distracting myself with something that's not the stream. Have I ever told the story of getting bubblegum in my hair? I don't remember who did it. Some asshole. Had to cut a lot of hair off. Luckily, I mean, I just had short hair back then, but whatever.
Still, it's too bad that Agent Sheena got here before I did.
I wonder where Agent Sheena was before you found her here.
Well, just before I got to this room, I saw her coming out of the room next door. Maybe we should go take a look at the room next door. Especially if this room connects to next fucking door.
Agent Sheena mentioned something about chasing the Yatagrasu herself earlier. Peanut butter? Okay, hold on. Okay, that sounds like, not that I don't believe you, but that sounds like just a way to get your hair even more in a mess. What do you mean peanut butter gets gum out of your hair? Also, I hope to never have gum in my hair again.
Well, she apparently helped in putting out the first fire. But during the second fire, I heard she was busy chasing the Yatagarasu.
For some reason I can't explain, the internet completely dropped for 2 hours even though there was power, then the power dropped again for 3 seconds, and the internet came in. Interesting. Fascinating. What do you mean it? 2 people are saying this? I mean, once again, I believe you that it's true. I'm just like, what the fuck? She seems to be a very dedicated agent. You would do well to learn from her. I am 100% not suspicious of this woman at all. Although I could probably stand to be at least 10% is suspicious. Just a little bit, Edgeworth. The oils from the peanut butter? Okay.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that, sir?
I need to go next door. Let me push through to next door. Did we get any more clues? What do you mean, no? I can't see a clear connection between the secret tunnel that's right there in that fireplace that leads to next door and Sheena being next door. Fine. Rude. I feel like some of that should have... Rude and mean. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Please go faster. We've already done this. This is where we learned about the renovations, blah, blah, blah. I didn't mean to press this button. Go back. I want to see if I can present him or Gumshoe with some new information. With evidence and be like, hey, you got any information on this? Onto a back wall, burning files, left ashes there. 2 fires broke out today. The photo of the Yatagarasu. I was wondering if you might have some thoughts on it. The answer is no, because... Do you think if I just keep showing him the same thing, I'll get enough coupons to get free meals? What else? Hey, do you recognize this scent? No, thanks for the coupon. Do you recognize this? Thanks for the coupons. Bubbly zinc consists mostly of wood crystal oil. When let the oil in the ink burns a bright yellow-green. It makes for a great science experiment. Here, give it a try with this. Yes, well, I understand your enthusiasm, but the amount you gave me earlier is enough. I see. Well, that's too bad. In that case, why don't you have a few more of these coupons? I've got plenty! I have plenty of those too! Where is he conjuring those from? What do you know about this? What do you know about... No, this is from the other room, right? Yeah, he wouldn't know anything about... This statue resembles that hero of the statue. I think we've already read this. It just might attract a few more tourists. His ass is... It's like, hold on. You just hear the noise and you don't know where it's coming from. It's like, alright. He just reaches into his... It's like, where are you reaching into your back pocket? Oh, you wish I was. Why are they warm? Those are questions best not answered. I can't believe that Bubbly Zinc was being used for such an evil scheme, and if people were to find out, that would really tarnish the global image of a ball. Oh, this is really bad. Really, really bad. Oh, but Ball's in a bind now. Is it just me, or do his words not match his facial expressions? Oh dear. If people were to find out that a murder occurred at our embassy, the number of tourists would plummet, as would our revenues. It'd be a disaster. What are we going to do? Can't believe it, but nope, we... nope. What about this one? Apparently we've done that one. I have a feeling there's nothing to talk to you about. Goodbye. You, what do you know about these?
Wow, those look really good, sir. Can I have one?
Don't you dare line your stomach with the evidence. Come to think of it, the dog Detective Gumshoe takes care of just up and ate a samurai dog earlier as well. Poor little dog, slowly coming to resemble his handler. What do you notice about this piece of evidence?
Well, I don't really sense anything special about it, but the embassy's a different...
I see. Does this look familiar? Does this look familiar?
Those were some fires, sir, and we don't exactly have the manpower to fight it ourselves when they're this bad. About the only thing we could do is try to catch the arsonist. Why this place doesn't have a sprinkler system? I'll never know. Fucking idiots! Maybe include that as part of your renovations. Oh, goddamn sprinkler! So that in case of a fire, there's an automatic thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that sprinkler systems have been around a long time. They should be in this goddamn embassy. It's a fucking safety hazard, obviously. I feel so helpless thinking about it. I mean, we can't prevent this sort of thing. We can only do something after it's happened.
At least it's better than doing nothing. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
I guess so, sir.
Okay, you're not helpful. Why are you so useless? It looks like all the souvenirs suffered some damage from the fire. I don't believe it. Murder on top of arson? What a disgrace to the name of the Yatagarasu! The fake Yatagarasu are guilty of much more than just theft, it seems. I know, because if it were me, my first priority would have been to loot this bookshelf. You would steal ordinary souvenirs that you can buy virtually anywhere. You can't buy them anywhere. Each one is specific to a location and has its own value. This is before the time of buying stuff off the internet, Edgeworth. And items that have memories attached to them are the most valuable of all. And you know I don't like making phone calls. I've seen the infomercials. I know those phone calls. Those things are scams. Oh, absolutely. Hi, Kane. Like, the remade animations are really good. I wish that it was easier to switch back to the old style, just so I can compare it, but I also understand why that would be a hassle. But the sprite work in this game is mwah. Well, could you really rob someone of their valuable memories, just like that? No! Because even if I take the souvenir, I can't take the owner's memories. Final. Okay, I was wondering why. Okay. This grandfather clock was apparently in a different position before the fire. According to staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir. Which means that, most likely, it was moved by someone during the fire. Yeah, I understand why they do it. Oh, that being said, like, the 3D stuff still has some really good animations in it. But there is a certain charm to the 2D ones. But also, like, having played through all the... Oh, more interactive.
Do not fail me again.
Yeah. This style? Here's the thing. Having played this game, I was like, oh, this is actually much more interesting to look around than regular point and click. But the Miles Edgeworth games are the only ones that do this. So I'm like, okay, but this would be really cool to actually have walking around and be normal Ace Attorney games. Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I don't hear any chiming. Oh, that's odd. No, it's still chiming right on the dawn of every hour this morning. Maybe the fire damaged its internal mechanisms or something. Okay, here's the thing. We need to look inside this clock. If I've learned anything from my time on this bitch of an earth, always hide bodies and other stuff inside the clock. This is me looking around everywhere. I'm looking at everything. I see everything. I know everything. I'm also tracking a fly around the room, and it's fucking creeping me out. Ambassador Paleno, maybe take a look inside that clock. Called it! Always look inside the clock! Sure, go right on ahead. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please inspect the insides of this clock. Yes, sir! I'm on it! Mr. Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir! Nah, he's sleeping. It looks like a length of wire. So this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. But what was a long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place? Why would someone do this? This is a valuable clock. Well, hold on, let me take a look. It could be a... I don't think it's a garrote. I feel like a garrote... I don't know much about garrotes. I feel like this wouldn't necessarily work for it. But my guess is more that has to do with this. It helped with the quote-unquote flying from one embassy to the other. Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock? It sounds like it wasn't Mr. Paleno that put the wire in there. Or perhaps it was Mr. Cochin's killer who did. We've examined everything in this office, but there's one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Paleno about it. Ambassador Paleno, there's something I'd like to ask you about. Yes? About this office, it appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the grandfather clock. Oh, that's right! You've also paid a visit to the Alabastan side of the embassy. Our two embassies actually used to be one. Yes, I know. Even the pamphlets mention that. Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical. Good word, don't you think? So no matter which room, the location of the fireplace and the like are exactly the same. Even where the art is located the same, as my room is currently under renovation. We worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office.
You mean for your handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja?
Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right?
It's another old expression of a bull's obsessively competitive spirit with Alabast, I take it.
Thank you, Ambassador. A piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots. Connect what dots? Well, anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help.
Let's connect some dots. Okay. Okay. And... yeah! Okay. The Alabast and Bobbly sides of the building are symmetrical to each other. Thank you for finally doing the thing I wanted you to do 1,000 years ago. Push through the fireplace.
As we know that to be a fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway.
A secret passageway?
In Alabast, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall.
A revolving wall? It sounds like something out of a ninja house. Wow, there's a trick like that built into the fireplace, sir?
What? Oh, Simpson old's that kind of secret. There seems to be a lot about this room that you don't know about, Ambassador. I guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Agreed. And my first thought that it's likely the killer used the revolving fireplace.
Absolutely. Like, here's the thing. That I always say that the characters you play as in Ace Attorney games are fucking idiots. That does technically apply to Miles Edgeworth in this game. He is kind of fucking stupid. However, if he actually did this in the other Ace Attorney games, then all that shit wouldn't happen. Now, the thing I guess I technically have to remember is this takes place after the third game. So maybe he's finally just like, you know what? Maybe what I was doing before was wrong. Maybe we actually investigate a little bit more than just arrest the first person we see. It looks like just another fireplace though, doesn't it? So, how do you turn it again?
In Alabast, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace.
Oh, I see an X back there, sir! Let's see what happens when I push it. Or maybe it's a cross, like on the PlayStation?
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, everyone calls it an X button. Technically speaking, it's the cross button, because that's the shape.
I really don't care about this.
Because the others are the circle, square, and the triangle, you see? So that's not an X, and it never was, officially.
Just push the damn thing.
Hold it! Ah! You scared me, sir! You're the one who told me to press it!
There's something with this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts.
Huh? But we found an X where you thought there'd be one, right? Yes, however, there's wood in this fireplace. There should be nothing but ashes because they burned stuff here earlier, which means there was a fire, which means someone used this goddamn fireplace revolving door. Also, there should be ink on the back wall.
We did, but that's not what I was referring to.
Something is missing from the scene. A couple of things.
What does this contradiction mean for us?
I can already deduce. I can deduce many a thing. Let me deduce everything. I already know the answer. I just said the answer. Oops, wrong button. The answer is... yeah, this one. Eureka! Okay, maybe I just deduced the wrong spot. Oh, it's okay if you don't see it, Kay. I don't really get it either, but I figure it's just too splendid for me to understand. So come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you tell us what exactly is so... Everything. Everything's contradictory. Fuck, goddammit. Fine. Rude.
All I see inside this fireplace is startlewood.
Huh? That's odd. It doesn't match up with Mr. That's exactly what I just did. I must have missed the wrong spot.
What is the meaning of this contradiction?
Deduce. Deduce. I wish to do a deducing.
Ambassador Paleno, you said that you burned some old fires in this fireplace today, correct? Yes, I burned quite a few vials this morning, actually, and after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct? That's right, but why are you asking? And why are you making such a scary face? I'm sorry, I admit I'm a bit intimidating when I'm serious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace, and tell me what you find odd about it. Let's see. Where did all the ashes go? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't really think that Ambassador Polino is lying, do you?
No, there's no reason for him to lie. And I don't believe his testimony is wrong either. It is the fireplace that is causing the contradiction. Okay, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me.
You got it. I'll add in the ashes from the burnt files and...
Sounds like we've pretty much figured everything out now, huh? Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us.
Oh, I sense it coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, right? Oh, you mean that? Well, it's what Mr. Edgeworth is known for, you know?
There's really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do. I'm just gonna say Eureka. The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple. It's not because someone cleaned them up, right? No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Ambassador Polino said that he spilled some Barbalese ink while he was burning the files. And yet there is not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere.
Well, then I don't know what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighboring room. Which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used.
Then you mean the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there into the room next door where Sheena was? Wow. Amazing. How spectacular. How amazing it is that the Yatagarasu went into the other room and somehow Sheena didn't see them.
Yes, I believe the person you were in pursuit of is Mr. Cochin's killer. And after committing the murder, escaped through the fireplace.
Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route.
I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down.
Okay.
If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who was in the neighboring room.
Well, the person that was in the next room was... Oh! It was that person, sir!
Yes, Detective. Agent Sheena.
Investigation complete. Congratulations. It's looking more and more like Miss Sheena is the killer, isn't it?
Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight in this room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cochin. I don't have any proof yet, however. I know she is hiding something from us.
Okay, then why don't we ask Miss Sheena herself? I'm the Yatagarasu. I'm the Yatagarasu.
I'm the Yatagarasu.
I want to be the Yatagarasu.
Gumshoe, you're too stupid to be the Yatagarasu.
Aww.
No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first. Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Edgeworth? Finally? Look, I can do it. I promise. I'm all ready. If I had okay. If Gumshoe had a persona, it'd be a Labrador Retriever, like a really scruffy one. A really scruffy Labrador, whose tail never stops wagging. Edgeworth would be like an owl, or maybe just a wolf. You're the Yatagarasu, you're the Yatagarasu, I'm the Yatagarasu. Are there any other Yatagarasu around here I shouldn't... Cat? Cat does track. Cat also tracks. You're not wrong. You're right, I think he'd be more cat-like, especially with his bangs. They kind of look like cat ears if you look at it properly. Phoenix can be the dog. And their cat and dog relationship.
Yes, I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on Damascus II's note.
Okay, I'll get the lab boys on that right away.
A second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall.
Right now, sir?
No, next decade. Of course now! We need to test a hypothesis first, don't we? A ferret? That's really funny. I mean, we could always just make him a parrot. Some other bird. Come on, Gummy, you can do it.
All right, I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here I go, through the fireplace and back.
You shouldn't need to psych yourself up that much for such a simple task, Detective.
But it's dirty in there, sir. Sir, why aren't you saying anything? Sir, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go to the fireplace now.
Yes, you do that.
Wow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn.
That's so neat! Now, I want to try going through there too! Weasels around and steals things and is tenacious. Ferret. That's true. You could always be just like a terrier, like a small dog. Meanwhile, Apollo would be... Oh, what would Apollo be? Apollo would have to be, Oh... Once again, my brain says something like a macaw. Some sort of bird that's... Some sort of big bird. The heck, like his antenna kind of reminds me of like how some birds have similar things. He's got his cords of steel. A parrot of some type? Yeah. A parrot with the eyes of a hawk. There really is a secret passageway through there. I had no idea. But it appeared that the ash really was pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the Bobbily's ink you spilled, Ambassador, is there on the back wall.
Okay, here I go, sir.
Detective, I'd like you to go through here under the same conditions as the killer.
Huh? But there's all that ash and stuff.
As your point is. Now, we're short on time, so if you could please hurry on through.
But it's dirty. Why are you looking at me like that again? Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right? No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve, such as the Artigrossu's whereabouts, the other smuggling ring members, the two weapons that made it across the border, the key Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Miss Yu was related to these embassies. Mr. Edgeworth. A number of pieces connect in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted. What are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said that it's easy if you follow the leads. Was that supposed to be an impression of me? You're the one who said it was easy to follow the leads. Was that supposed to be an impression of me? If it's info gathering you need, Gummy and I can help with that. Then all you'd have to do is show off your fancy-schmancy logical deductions. Y'all could stand to learn a little bit of logic yourselves. Like, it's not gonna hurt you, I promise. Show off? Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that? Well, let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? We've been so focused, like a laser, on only what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. But if we think things through calmly, the answer should come to us. Hey, that's the sort of thing I say to myself when I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know? Well, that is something that I hope practice doesn't make perfect, for your sake. Yeah! Looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back, sir!
Yes, I can see that. Good work, Detective.
Looks like you can use the fireplace like a door, sir.
Are you alright, Gummy?
Okay, it's just a bit of ash and dust, that's all. Just a little bit of black lung. Nothing to really worry about.
Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the hem has practically turned black.
Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburnt ink got on it, sir.
I see. Oh, thank you, Detective. You did a fine job. I'll even pay the cleaning bill for the trench coat.
What? Oh, no, sir, I can never! This is just my old coat, sir! If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it cleaned, but, yeah, you know.
I see. Very well, then, as you wish. So because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used. Here's the thing that bothers me though. When we saw Sheena, she was not covered in, she didn't have any ash or ink on her. So, which is just curious because now Gumshoe's obviously much bigger than she is, but it still begs the question of, how did she not get dirty going through if it was in fact her? Yes, but that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact. This is specifically why he had him go through the ash and ink side, to get him dirty. He wanted to see that. That's the question though, is he still dating Maggie? Like, did that ever continue? Hi Gary. And that is, I will have to explain it to you later. Right now, we need to deal with the handwriting analysis. Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir! I'll be back before you know it!
The handwriting analysis on Mr. Cochin's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let us go and wait in the Theatrum Neutralis, along with Agent Ling and Agent Sheena. She's also not wearing, like I said, she has a much smaller silhouette, a much smaller frame. She could potentially avoid the ash and ink, or at least she could avoid the ink and most of the ash and just dust off a little bit. To be continued. Right now. We're continuing it right now. Outfit change? What do you mean? Wait, there was an outfit change? Did I not see it? I don't see an outfit change. Oh, Sheena could change the outfit. Yeah, that's true. I thought you meant me change the outfit. March 14th, 11:33 p.m. There it is. There's my Monokuma voice. Theatrum Neutralis. Lobby. Agent Lang. Like Z says, little cubs, never do they know the real fury of the Elder Wolves. These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. I just now, I don't know why it took me so long to realize that his glasses were the thing making the X on his forehead. Why the fuck are your glasses like that? Mr. Prosecutor, the counterfeit bills waiting at Bobbly's Inc. They were all of Zhang Fa denominations. Yeah, so I heard from Miss Von Karma. But we don't know where the play money has gone. I must not have figured out that it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhang Fa's in financial chaos as we speak. Because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. Okay, what percentage of your bills are you willing to burn? Like, obviously not the whole thing, but like, are you okay with like 1% burn? Like, is it okay if every single bill in your country has like a little bit of a singe mark to it? Because if you are okay with that, I know exactly what to do. I don't know how you're going to systematically go through every single bill in the country, but you know, yeah, we can write. Oh, here's another idea. Take all the money in the country, just round up all the bills. Yeah, exactly. In the U.S., you only need 65%. It's fine. You round up every single bill in the country. You burn the whole thing. Have a very beautiful bonfire, and also make sure to print new bills to hand out to people. It's fine. Don't worry. It's like gotta get everything replaced, and anything that burns green, get rid of it. But it's not just the money. The citizens are also worried. Yeah, you know what? Burn the money, go back to a bartering system. That's also a good idea. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this. I thought the honor of the House of Lang was already destroyed. And I've come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhang Fa. And I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. Oh, that does. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. It might be Sheena's fault, but we're working on it. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight. Oh, no, it is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. Okay. Because he says that, I really want to see this old man throw off his cloak, stand up straight, and just be the most jacked old man you've seen since Whitebeard. Curse, you fool! Curse your empty brain! You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well. Agent Lang, a moment if you...
Hold it! You, Wolfman and the Secretary Lady! Hold it! Objection! Pow!
Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already?
Yep, and that note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Oh, just until about midnight, maybe a little after. Don't worry about it. Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Autogrossu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Kocha was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, what are you doing asking her about something she didn't see? Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babor investigation at all, so I suppose I'll need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well. I'll supervise you until the end, like a good boss should to her minion, subordinate. Is she seriously going to treat me as subordinate for the rest of the day? You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. Wow, synchronized. Do you think she was just like watching his arm and just perfectly matching up the timing of the move, or they just practiced this a million times? Like every morning, the first thing these two do when they greet each other is, all right, we got to practice our glass taking on and off. But you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocent, so let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Yeah, they definitely practice this. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Autogrossu that appeared in the ball, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony. You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Autogrossu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to review what Kay's mystery person did. Okay, if you could please explain for us what the person you were chasing did. Okay, you got it! I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage on the Bobbly side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Autogrossu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Autogrossu up to the 3rd floor. Okay, you will be Party A. We will call this person Party Y. Can do! I'll be party E, that'll be party S, L, G. You can be actually, why can't I be Project K? Because, or Person K, because that's just your name. Oh, yeah, fair point. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Bobbly's embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Kochin's office. Hey, what if this is another fucking Tracy and her dad situation where there's actually 2 people? I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... It's Mr. Who's there? By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under cover of darkness. I'm sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door because there's a clock in the way, good sir. Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty? That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person. Take that! Your answer is Sheena. Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. First of all, there would have been light. If the door was open, obviously. Unless there were no lights in the hallway, I suppose, but then how are you chasing them? Some light would have come in, first of all. Second of all, probably would have run to either the clock, or Kay, or into the door itself, but definitely into Sheena. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochin's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Okay. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? No, I didn't see anyone. You see, therefore, the Yatagarasu could not have escaped through the door. It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it out into the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time?
Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream, I ran towards Mr. Kochin's office from the opposite direction of Sheena, sir.
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened. Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with your revolving fireplace wall explanation, right?
No, not quite yet. Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time. The revolving wall on the Bobbly side is known only to 4 people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What? Wrong voice, I was doing Gumshoe. What's with all the whispering over there? Skilled will figure out your tactics. Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smug, haughty attitude of yours. You really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that. There's a lewd joke to be made here. Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. Why does he have Monster Hunter art on his jacket? He's a big fan of Monster Hunter, obviously. I think he likes the Tigrex. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly. I mean, what do you think an airplane is? People legitimately are flying all the time. There are wingsuits, there are parachutes, there are hang gliders, there's wire work, there are airplanes, there's blimps, there's other airships, there's falling with style. Oh wait, nope. There is no style. That's just a splatter on the ground. I'm sorry, take that last one away. Ew. Of course I know that. That's bloody common sense. And this is why I give Edgeworth a British accent, 'cause he says shit like that. Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Autogrossu's escape route. I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself. Oh, the shadow in this photo is not the Autogrossu that Kay was chasing after. You can say whatever you'd like in whatever language you want, but there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence. Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo. What's our evidence of this? Exactly? After the fire on the 4th, this is photo taken after the first fire. Well, yeah, isn't that... Oh, right. Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Autogrossu Kay saw. Kay spotted the Autogrossu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. Yeah, way to go! That's twice you've bit him in the butt now. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is, and how the Autogrossu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. Ha! As I thought. However, the Autogrossu's escape route, now that I can answer. You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on! Enlighten me! Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You are busy heading up the Alabaster investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Bobbly side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Shi-Na, explained in my stead? Shi-Na's my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? Lang, that's alright. I can take care of him. Shi-Na, you've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth. Okay, look, I'm not gonna say that that's an evil smirk, but that's kind of an evil smirk. That's a little bit of an evil smirk, right? I'm not crazy? Alright, if you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent Shi-Na and myself. This is where the battle really begins. And now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Bobbly's embassy? During the first Bobbly's fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Autogrossu that appeared in Babal. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Autogrossu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Autogrossu even exists. And that is all I have to say. I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent Shi-Na tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale. Get fucked, motherfucker! Get fucking shit on. And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Grr. Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get in such a situation. Although, I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation.
Then you should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal!
I'm sorry. Sheena, apologize. I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I never doubted you. Not for 1 second. And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena. Then let's put that to the test and see if she is really worthy of your trust. This promises to be interesting. Alright. During the first fire, assistant in putting out, that's fine. I have no problems with that one.
Hold it!
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the 3rd floor of Babal, correct? Yes, that was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babal. Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after. There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a look at the person's face. By the way, how was your team's investigation? In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the 3rd floor via the windows, so the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors. Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the 3rd floor. When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the 3rd floor. And you did that alone? Yes.
Hold it!
So you were in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office. I already told you I was earlier. As I was examining the neighboring room, I heard that girl's shrill scream. Okay, either she is the killer, knows about the fireplace, and hopes that they don't, or she legitimately doesn't know about the fireplace, in which case she's not the killer. Probably. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochin's office, wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall. Yes, I did.
But she was totally innocent, pal! I thought we had already cleared that up!
Put the sunglasses on, just take them off again. And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet.
Oh.
I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issue with that.
Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
What I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagarasu, Agent Sheena. And the prosecutors of this country are all so strange. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. Is this where I present to you the revolving door? You were unable to catch even a glimpse, despite being in the next room. Is that true? I really hate to repeat myself. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! Are you calling Sheena's testimony a lie? Agent Lang, I'm talking with Sheena right now. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments. Don't growl at me, you beast. Aw, you know, I feel kind of bad for him. I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth. Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than... Oh, a DDoS? Haven't done that in a while. I'm in so much pain. Ow. That was like 100 and something. That was like 100 and something hits straight to the noggin. Need to make sure I'm still alive after that.
The Keyblade.
Yep, I'm good. Oh, 100% it broke. It always does whenever I do a DDoS. Like, hitting everything at once? Yeah, no, it'll do some funky things to the model. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me. And why is that? To be honest, I met the girls Yatagarasu.
Hold it!
Just out of curiosity. Are you throwing Kei's words into doubt again? Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu, despite being just an average citizen. Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu. That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere. Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough. Sheena? Oh, we're not accusing her of murder and or lying yet. But we might sin. I see. The case testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in her testimony. Oh, then why don't you show her that using... I will in due time. The escape route to the Yatagarasu that Kei was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Sheena, then what is it that she is keeping from us right now? Actually, I want to talk here real fast. So you helped with the fire extinguishing effort? I was in charge of police on the Bob Lee side, so I helped them with their work. Police doing the job of firemen. You really know how to work people. Ooh woo. Hello, Maya. Thank you for the posture and the hydrate check. I hope you let you all well today. She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage. Oh yeah. I guess so. She's always bringing you a business card or a scroll at just the right time. To prepare everything before I'm ordered to. That is the definition of a secretary.
She kind of seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she?
At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, Detective.
Oh, I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that. That hurts my feelings, sir. But not enough to stop me!
Sheena's more than just a capable secretary, you know. Sheena, tell them what other things you're good at. Alright. During the second fire, I was searching for... Okay. Okay. Excuse me, please, while I say do-do-do-do-do.
Objection!
Gumshoe is still smarter than Musk.
I mean, yeah, but that's, like, an incredibly low bar. That does not take much. Like, that bar might as well be, what, like 10, 20 feet under? Fine. Being in the room next to Mr. Coach's office is the problem with your testimony.
Not so fast!
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all. Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Alabastion office fireplace? Huh? No, you mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Alabastion isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces. Ugh. The fireplace in Mr. Coach's office holds the exact same secret. What? The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent Sheena. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu. Yeah! What is the meaning of this, Miles? Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena, how you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu, or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kei saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Coachen's office and headed for the fireplace. Okay, we're not accusing her of murder. We're just accusing her of being the one that Kay was chasing. That would also explain why she's not dirty. Because if she was wearing the coat when she ran through, of course we didn't see the coat, we wouldn't see any dirt on her dress. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Sheena. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. What, is someone getting married here?
How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal?
Is that your heartbeat or is that something else? Sheena? What if this is actually Callisto Yu? Her hair being fake would not surprise me. Like, looking at her hair, if that hair is not real, I'm not gonna be shocked. If that hair is not real, I'm not shocked. Oh, she has a different chin, though. I love the face there, though. That's really great. She's actually 2B. 2B, or that was a good game. That laugh. That's right, that's Callisto Yu's laugh! I knew it! She is Callisto! I remember this irritating laugh.
I'm getting chills down my spine.
It can't be, but it has to be. Sheena, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh. Funny, you say? Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutors of this country really are all so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route. The tone of voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed. That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. 7 years, to be precise. I was fighting off against this little squirt of a prosecutor. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle of wits. I'll put an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind. It is a great honor. Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know. I know, and that's why I won't hold anything back either as I answer your question. My question? Here is the proof that the revolving fireplace wall in the ball was used recently. Hold on. Wait, that it was used recently? There are signs of it having been used. I mean, we already said that, didn't we?
Take that!
I'm sorry, is this really your honest answer to my question? Yes, and according to Ambassador Paleno's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Coachin. Ow. The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there. Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up? Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Paleno said that he forgot to, and so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Coachin's office is my proof. She really is just making the law face, and just what's so funny? Ash, as proof, are you allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course, why wouldn't I? In that case, let's hear your counter-argument. Phew. My counter-argument, this really is just like being in court. Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago. I have no idea what you're talking about. As a matter of either crime scene or in court, let's finish this here and now. I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Do you have any idea how many times people have said that in an Ace Attorney game and it was not the last testimony of that case? Do you have any idea how many times I've heard, oh, this will be your last testimony, this is your last chance, this is the last opportunity, okay, this is really the final, no, sorry, this is the true final opportunity. Hold on, I need my judge's gavel. Your final opportunity. This is your real opportunity. That one was just because I wanted to bang the gavel. That one was for your next final opportunity. Let's get this finished away. Okay, now we're done. Bye, Maya. Thank you for the lurk. We'll see you later. I hope work is going well. In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. Has anyone gone into the room next door? And there you have it, my counter-argument. That's very impressive. She has seen through to the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. Again, just... Gumshoe can go by himself. Gumshoe, go to the room next door to Mr. Cochin's office and tell us what you find.
What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But Hey, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. This chase you're running to catch the truth. You must see it through to the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth? With pleasure. It looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it? Sheena, please, show me you're someone I can trust. Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see. I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena. Shall we begin? Phew. I'm ready whenever you are. Rebuttal to Sheena's rebuttal. Okay. So, there was one thing that kind of caught me. This. We have not found a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. That's a very particular wording. The wording is super suspicious. I'm pressing you. So you really didn't find anything? Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation. But we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Bobbly's knife handle yet. Ha! You see, my subordinates worked hard to investigate everything. So there's nothing else to find, alright?
Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people.
Lang Zi says all men are brothers, and friends become family. So you see, my people are my family, and their families are my family too. That's a rather large family you have there. Yes, but as we all know, there's always one black sheep in any family. Is that technically me, because I'm the trans one? And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family. So, did you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace? No, I haven't found any yet. Then what are we going to do? There's no need to worry. Because there is a loophole in this Interpol agent argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Bobbly's investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that Agent Sheena in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence we found. If there's one thing I do know, it is that someone tried to hide it from us. The wire! Someone tried to hide the wire. Oh wait, no. That's right. If they did a thorough investigation, then we shouldn't have been able to find the wire. That's actually a better point. We did find something suspicious in the office. While you say that you and your agent have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything? Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol agents? You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. I mean, mine is. I don't know why you might not have one or two. I never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. And what exactly is this supposed to mean? A length of wire. So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Bobbly's embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found that at the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder? But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more. In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. What the? Okay, I don't like. I recognize that this is the direction we were all facing when this started, but the fact that it's a 180 from where the sprites are is fucking me up a little. That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? That's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. You see, so there is nothing in that office, nothing you can call evidence, anyway. I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression. How so? I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort, but rather I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then, I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete. The Interpol agent works under the command of Agent Sheena. And is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the third floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Sheena was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there's one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to investigate this fucking room! The location, Agent Sheena, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection. Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there. I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir! I'm on it! I'll be right back after I check out that room next to the office. Uh-oh. Okay. We'll do our best, Fluffy.
See, I told you Gumshoe should be the one to go over there and do a looky-loo. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, do you really think that Miss Sheena is the Yatagarasu? Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is. then I'm not going to let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question. If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find during his looky-loo, then I should be able to. And just what are you hoping he'll find during this looky-loo? Let's just say this. My Detective Gumshoe do a little Yeah, I knew it! I knew I'd do a little experiment for me earlier. An experiment. As if that detective has the brains for high science. It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Bobbly's ink. Who cares what his coat is covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir.
Oh? So what are these things that you found during your looky-loo?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? Hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in the room when you examined it? Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Aww.
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
You were about to leave. You were ready to leave. Things were done. You and Lang were just gonna mosey on out of here back to your own country.
Hold it!
These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them. They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission. I wish to examine them for the sake of the looky-loo. We have to do a finding out. What if you wish to deny us access to them? Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say let them look at your stuff, Sheena. Lang. Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. Alright. Go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide. Good. Let us begin. Which of Sheena's belongings are we
Which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir? Let's take a look at that coat.
Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly.
I kind of wish I did that now just to see it, because that's really funny.
Look at all that ash and ink. Hey, Sheena, we're gonna just like lightly burn the bottom of your coat. I hope that's not a big deal. Oh, look, it's burning green. Oh, just like Bobbly's ink. Huh. Interesting, isn't it? Agent Sheena. Yatagarasu, that K-Sol, was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace. No, you've got that wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fires. And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat? Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. It's the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace, which I can. How? You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Huh? Me, sir? What did I
This coat. This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay Soul was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat.
I don't get quite what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir.
I did it! All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance on the coat hem is. Oh, and you think you can do that? Yes, let me pull out my lighter. Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of this Bobbly's coat.
Take that!
Wait, no, I didn't, wait. Hem of this coat. Why did I add the word Bobbly's to that? Hello? Hi, Biscuit. What's up? Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, baby darling. Bobbly's ink? Yes, this will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Parleno, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning. You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Bobbly's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Especially since you've already said that it's your coat. Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yoltagarasu, but we're not finished yet. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Bobbly's ink on the coat hem. Oh, but I do. And I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I'll prove that the dark substance on the coat is Bobbly's coat. We're gonna burn the damn thing! We can find out whether that's Bobbly's ink or not by lighting it on fire. That's how you're going to prove that it's Bobbly's ink. Yes, if you could please cut a section of the dark-stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you here now what the dark substance is. Sheena, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat. If it turns out that you're actually truthful and everything, I'll buy you a new one. It's a nice coat. I kinda like it. Want one for myself. Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway. Oh, then maybe I won't buy you a new one. Well, since you're offering. Well, now hold on. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something. Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. Then if I could please have 1K, we can get this experiment underway. And also, what was that about smoke bombs? The flame! Wow, that jacket burned really well. I'm pretty... like... that... Okay, like, that looked like a leather jacket. Like, the coat shouldn't have burned. Like, the ink on it definitely should have. But, like, the coat itself should not have burned away into nothing. Right, baby? Isn't that right, Biscuit? But Biscuit's in my lap now, by the way, if you want to say hello. It's the same color as the flames Wickrest oil produces, which means... Pleather? Yeah, but again, pleather doesn't burn that fast either. It still doesn't burn that fast. So, it doesn't matter. Whatever it's made of...
Sacrifice to Biscuit. Give that boyo a treato.
I don't have any Treatos over here. I have them over in the kitchen. I also need to be careful because there's a mug of tea that's mostly drank but still right nearby on the desk, and I don't want him to stretch out and knock it over. Because boy likes to do a stretchy. Bobbly's ink is a product of wood crystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Machina, you're the fake Yatagarasu, the one who killed my father! Can I play the boy like an accordion? He would hate it. I probably could. He's very stretchy. Like, if I could get a good grip on him, I could do it. Nope. Hey, no. No bite. Down. He didn't like me trying to do that. It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena. Or should I say, Callisto you? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. You're not serious, are you? Do I look like the joking type to you? Callisto you. I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years.
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it!
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto U woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me. The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world. Why are you talking about my appearance? Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto U? I do. It's something like the second Yggdrasil has preserved for us these last 7 years. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. I will, Kay, for we have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Callisto U with this and clip the Yggdrasil's wings for sure, for good.
Take that!
This perfume. This will prove you to be Callisto U. It will. Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this, Waltle? This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well. This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Bern Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still... There we go. Your fingerprints are still on here. Every last one. We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? It's okay, Biscuit, I promise, I'm fine. Okay, looks, it's... the kind that, I don't know. It looks like you seen through me right again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth. Callisto, you. So, you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than that time 7 years ago. Sheena, you're... Lang. I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man. So, you were a spy all along? A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time? Very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto U, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. So what you're saying is that scene in Men in Black when Jay has to burn his fingerprints off, he has to do that every year? Ow. Like, will they grow back the same? Can you, like, scar them? Well, scarring them would... no. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right. Callisto U. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief, Yatagarasu. Incorrect. Callisto U, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly. You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. And that's true. Yeah, wait, really? I mean, I know that they're not always the best science. I didn't know they change over time. I know that they're not as unique as people think they are. I know that much. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Yeah, like, here's the thing. Forensics, it can be very good. But there's a lot more faith in forensics than there should be. Because it's not always used properly. The information's like, okay, don't you! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father! You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty. Well, son of a bitch. Kay!
You there can't go right now, pal!
You despicable. Let go of me, you filthy. Ugh. Bite her hand. Bite her hand. You think we're fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. That's impossible. My father was the one who created Little Thief. Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be. Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu? The real identity of the Yatagarasu is... The Yatagarasu is neither Burn Faraday nor Callisto U. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu. How very perceptive of you. No way! The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed. Mr. Edgeworth, No! I refuse to believe this! The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. Biscuit, hi. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. Are we saying that bad is part of this? Hey, we are! It's Detective Bad. It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind, because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu? I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you. Why, Mr. Bad, long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why, indeed. There was nothing personal, really. You were just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this. It's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss. Stop! You! Kay! It's over, Sheena. Did Lang shoot her? Well, Lang definitely got shot. Your leg! Agent Lang! You idiot! What were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she's my subordinate. Biscuit, hey, don't bite. Stop it. Biscuit, what you doing, baby? What you doing, baby? Baby? I mess with one foot. He grabs it and starts biting and licking his own foot, but I just grab the other foot and I play with that one. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you. You really are idiots, you know that? Yeah, bad shot him. That's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. Yes? I want you to conduct a full-body search. Sheena might have another weapon on her. Alright. Biscuit, hey, no. Ow! 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 To jail with you! Jail with the kitty. Come here. Baby is in jail. Remind me to get him in like 5 to 10 minutes. Detective Gumshoe, your assistant, please. Biscuit is still too bitey. And I don't know why. I've been trying my best to punish him. And he just doesn't stop. Sir! Hey, I found something! What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle. It's the knife that went missing. This is a great find, detective. Huh? It is, sir? Let's try pairing up this blade with this handle.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon. Hey, they fit together perfectly! I guess so. But I feel like... The thing is, he's getting better about not biting my feet. Well, no, not always. Like, when I'm laying down, he might go after him. But it's definitely more the hands. This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were squished. I'm gonna go return this Bobbly's knife now. Alright, I'll just thought you make sure that is returned to Ambassador Paleno. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto, you. For the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the alabaster knife, switched the handles, and then took the original blade of the Bobbly's knife with you. He's almost a year old. I wish he would be a little less of a gremlin. Like, I love him as he is, but he is definitely a bit of a gremlin in ways that he should not be. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up? You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it. Problems? In what respect? What do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? Once she's done with this, as in once he's out of this gremlin age? Or something else? You know, it was all so I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewater Land, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. And that's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. When is Gremlin Age for cats? And let's adjust it for both Bengals and for Orange Cats, just for the hell of it. I know that it's not actually different, but just for the sake of hilarity. Comedy. What do you mean there's 4 Gremlin Ages? So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochin's murder on me? Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I'd planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You're going to take a little thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key. Then the person who stole the Autogrossu's key was Mr. Faraday. Ew. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. Oh, so we've still got 6 more months of this. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment. Then why? Why did you become a member of the Autogorosu? Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean? The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day. Does this mean the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Kochin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena? I guess I should tell you, Lynn, that I was the one who set the Bobbly's embassy on fire. And why did you do that? I suppose it would destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do, but then why start 2 fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation, after all. I've had my fun, and now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait! I mean, Miss Sheena, or whatever your name is. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight. What? I'm not saying that as a sore loser. I think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, Agent Lang. Mark my words, I'm not done here, and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. His anger appears to have negated the sense of pain in his injured leg. Well, the adrenaline will fade after a while. Yeah, imagine right now that he's shot in the leg still. That's why he's walking like that. So, does that mean that we're not done? I don't, small issue, problem, raising my hand, there's a problem. I believe her that she didn't kill anyone. That means we still have a murder to solve. It's finally over, Kay. I feel like I peered into her heart a little, you know? And it's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, the one who thought my father was a problem to be removed. That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring. Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty. Just like the ones they were selling for the Jammin' Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome. I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There is a soil stuck on the end of these sticks. Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh? So it's midnight, the dawn of another day. Isn't dawn the dawn of another day? Don't make me whip you again. Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You've really done a lot for everyone all these years. Take it bad. Don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire, and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. Okay, small problem, bad. Small problem. You also have to remember, though, this is still like 7 or 8 years before the events of Apollo Justice. Then again, With fanfic, with the power of fandom, you can do anything! But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. Okay. It's just normally when I see people talk about this person x this person, it's pretty much always romantic. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also a part of the Yatagarasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Uncle Bad. Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? Unfortunately, it isn't. Oh, come on, sir. She's just hanging on my chain. Isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth? Detective Bad. Wait, no. You are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you. These are the pages from my KG8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. Stole from my office? Huh? Wait, what? Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. So Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it? Wait, then that means... What? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir. It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG8 incident was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the older sister of the victim in the case. I will soon, I promise. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. Okay, so she really is Callisto Yu. That's real. That part's real. That's what we thought at the time. Wait, no it's not. That part's not real because she was still working for the smuggling ring. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart. And Faraday, he died for it. But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident? After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU. She never had a sister. What? Then that means... Shina was the only fake name she used. Callisto used was also another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring. She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file, please use it wisely. Trump card? That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago. It's the mark of the Yatagarasu. But why? This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Kochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU. But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu? The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. Bubbly's ink! So you mean the cards are written in Bubbly's ink? The fact that the card had that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police. So that's where those white cards are. The great thief that used the mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind. And one more thing. Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you.
The lollipop? You're entrusting a lollipop to him. That sounds kind of gross. You've been sucking on that thing for 7 years. Oh, it's a VHS tape. What is this, sir?
This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG Incident 8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. And he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case. This video.
Don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
This is the same video as the one Mr. Poltzman was trying to conceal from me. Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence. Then, that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Poltzman. The two pieced together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Poltzman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is, whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who's above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad, there is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them.
Incorrect. I'm sorry to say that that's not true. There is a limit to the law. It's called what the laws are, what they say, and what the people in power want to do with them.
You still insist that, even now. You really are something else. Well, I leave the rest in your hands.
I need to go get Biscuit out of his jail.
Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
I'll be right back. Hey, darling. I'm back. Here you go. Naughty, naughty Biscuit. He's a naughty, naughty baby. Okay. Pops!
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops! Why is this happening? This isn't justice!
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now let's go.
Yes, sir!
Is this really the end of a legend? To be continued!
I'm gonna say no. We're not done. Christ fucking God. We're not done. How long is this final episode? We've solved... I was gonna say we solved 2 murders. That's not true. We have not solved 2 murders.
Are we at least 3/4 of the way through this episode? Please say yes. Jesus Christ. Okay. You ever just like try to blow your nose and you're like, I know there's something in there. And it's like, no, I don't want to get out. And I'm like, fuck you. I will sinus rinse you later, son of a bitch. I guess we're still going. March 15th. March 15th, 12:07 a.m. The Atrium Neutralis lobby. Well, cotton swabs? First of all, no. Second of all, I have sinus rinses I've been doing. I'm just going to use that. Does it feel weird? Every time. So now we know who the Otagarasu really was. And yet there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Unlike how the weapons cross country lines, for example, the two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. Are you fucking kidding me? I could reasonably in-stream now and get a full one next time. Jesus Christ. That's a good point. That's a good question. That being said, that's actually... let me think. My throat is feeling kind of blah. But I don't... Here's the thing. A part of me doesn't want to end at 2 hours. Another part of me is like... throat kind of eh. And another part of me is just like, but if we can end next week's stream perfectly at the end of the first game, I'm like, yeah, but also, this game's long enough as it is. It's gonna be a million fucking streams regardless. And we have Murder Detective, and we have Raincode that I want to play after. Actually, you know what's not a bad idea? When we finish the first Edgeworth game, find a very short game to play on Thursdays, just as kind of an in-between. I think that's a good idea. Maybe Soma. I have Soma on PlayStation, and I've never played it. But I know that it's kind of sci-fi robot horror. That sounds like fun. It definitely feels like one of the longest cases of all time. Here's the thing. I remember many a year ago seeing, like, the beginning parts of Soma, so I know a little bit of the story and what's going on, but never, like, the full thing. So maybe we'll do that, but before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on the tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG-8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. It was indeed Markiplier who I saw play it, but again, only the beginning of it. I don't think I watched him play the whole thing. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. This man has many coaching, and he's holding a knife in his hand. Oh, this looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG-8 incident, and the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. Biscuit, are you okay? You're okay. I think. Bye, Gary. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building, and Manny Kochin has a knife and the calling card for the smuggling ring. Hey, baby. Welcome back, baby. I hope that your time in jail gave you time to think. I love you, though. Bye, Beast. Call him by his name, Francisca. Call him Deadman. That's right, Deadman. We can never... Yeah, this is CCU. Deadman was the name in the past. No, he was in this game. Deadman was definitely in this game. But bye, y'all. We'll see you later. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yeah, somehow, someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it. The background case of Case 4. Right.
Well, it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Even though this is the man...
Gumshoe, this is the man who died in the last 24 hours. Of course it's really... Actually, I believe that has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader.
Where?
Wait, what was that? What was that? Huh? The bit you played just now. Please, show it to me again. This car. This is something we cannot overlook. Look, everything in the world is math, and everything started from Journey to the West. These are two unflappable truths.
Why is that, sir?
Look here, Detective Gumshoe.
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Cadopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this has to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there? I mean, yeah, a lot of anime did. A lot of anime books, stories in general, they both stem from Gilgamesh, or the Journey to the West, and or a few other ancient classics. But like even things that aren't anime take a lot from Journey to the West. It was the original 5-man band. Oh, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edward. So you were here all this time. Hello, old man, who I still think is suspicious and possibly the ringleader. Ambassador Alba. Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night. Oh, if only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry. Here's the thing. With Jill-O-Lantern and Journey to the West? I mean, I'm honestly, it's not sick. It's just that my sinuses are just kind of clogging up a bit. Trust me, sick as a dog is when I was unable to fucking move and my nose felt like it was constantly on fire. But I'll probably end it early, but give it a few more minutes. But also, I think he's right. Alba is being very... what's the word? Vague? Cagey? He's saying, if only I was a little bit more careful, this never would have happened. But he's not specific about why. Like, what could he have done to be more careful? But the answer to that question might be, if he was more careful 10 years ago, then he might, and calling that videotape, he might not have had a reason to kill Manny Kochin today. This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were. Is this when this dude just straight up reveals to us that he's the leader of the smuggling ring? You idiot, quick! You couldn't chase after a simple thief. Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Excuse me? I heard you'd apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. Here he is. And now he's trying to get in our way. He's trying to end our investigation. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. Can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever, or scaring the visitors away. So I hope that you can understand how I feel. But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest to the Alabastion and Bobalese police? Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more, and Mrs. Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. And without my permission, you can proceed with your investigation anyway, right? Maybe not on the Alabastion side, but here in the theater and over on the Bobalese side, we still have permission. That's true, however, as he said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastion soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Sifu! We found Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sifu, this way! Yo! Hey, did you get your leg looked at? I know it's only been like 10 minutes. Agent Lang. No, back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case, no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, and don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. No, I'm doing the evil guy laugh, but I'm not evil. Probably. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do. Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You... No? The... killer? Do you really mean that, Agent Lang? Wolves don't lie. They also don't talk, but you know, that's a different matter. Then who is it? Haven't you ever heard... Wait. Wolves don't lie, but have you ever heard of a wolf in sheep's clothing? I think these two, phrases kind of contradict each other, my dude. Well, let me first say I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all Sheena. Lang Zi says, the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was Damas II's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Franziska von Karma. Excuse me? I was the killer. Okay. I just... Okay, we have two options here. Either he continues to be a dumbass, or, and I'm hoping for the or he's purposely throwing out bait. He's trying to steer away suspicion that maybe he really does know who the real killer is. Maybe he thinks it's Ambassador Alba. And so in order to get on on Alba's case, he's deflecting to someone else first. So to make Alba let his guard down. Once Alba's guarded down and they can prove that Franziska didn't do it, it's like, oh, hey Alba, all that stuff that you said beforehand, yeah, now that's pretty suspicious now. Now you're the one that we're going to take a look at. It was a trap all along. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I was the killer. Hey, wait, but that's impossible. Yeah! Thank you for catching the Mandark laugh. Although the whip is actually quite... Hold your tongue, that ludicrous remark you're about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. What does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not? And where's your evidence that I'm the killer? I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permit? This is what he needed. This is what he needed. Because Alba thinks that Lang is going for someone else, he's like, okay, he's not on my trail. So, and that's what Lang is hoping he's thinking. So he's like, sure, go in there. You won't find any... Exactly, we're gonna get down, we're gonna party. There's gonna be a dance party, don't worry about it. What was I saying? Basically, he's just trying to get Alba to... With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good. Then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. As if I had any reason to flee. But just so you're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that. Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, and so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabast yet.
If you're okay, then you've got to let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go. Just listen to that music.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. When it says investigation began, that might be where we call it a bit early. Okay, now, let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Koshin's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alabast's ornamental knives. And then the body of Damas II, Mr. Kashino, was found here in the Alabastan ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this Prima Duck statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. In this case, no matter how I look at it, sis, if it wasn't you, there's no one else who could have pulled this off. Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying? Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Yatagrasa's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Don't worry, my plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You were permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across country lines. Hey now. Look, sis, I thought I already told you, I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Sheena certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Francisca, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Alabastan side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I'm taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But you can come up with anything else. Can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? This is what he wants. This was the whole point. We were supposed to get to this point. Figure out what really happened here. This is his challenge. That we together can find out. Of course, your explanation is to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let's now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damas II. You two understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damas II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. Yes, let's. If there's still like 2 or 3 more hours worth of this episode in here somewhere, despite the fact that it really feels like we're coming to an ending, I think that this would be a good place to call it, right here before this testimony. So we can start right here. There's no question about where we are or what we're doing. And I can both get some food and clean myself up a bit. So, I want to say thank y'all so much for coming out and joining me today. I hope you all are enjoying this. We'll be back with Digimon Hacker's Memory on Saturday. And again, either Sunday or Tuesday next week, we'll start... Oh, we have to start a new game. I know, Biscuit, I have to make a decision. Are we doing Vampire Therapist, S for you, Speak for You, or something else? The Sacrifice. 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 Proud of you too, baby. I wish y'all could hear that. Meow. Come on. Do it again. Louder this time. Okay. It's not working. Hold on. Let me... One second. I'm checking something first. I want to see who there is to raid, baby. What is Aquarium up to? No? Okay, what else? Nope, never mind. We're good. You heard a meow earlier? Hell yeah. One day. Alright, but yeah, thank y'all for joining. We'll be back on Saturday. Y'all have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. Get some rest, food, all that good stuff. I'm hungry. Bye, y'all. Good night, everyone. Biscuit says good night, too. I promise. Believe me. Trust me.